Welcome to the Predator World 10-Ball Championship, proudly presented by CueSports International and hosted here in Las Vegas at the Rio All Suites Hotel and Casino. We'd like to thank our other sponsors of the event, Diamond Billiard Products, Kamui, and Omega. We are now into the quarterfinals, and this is our final quarterfinal match. And I'd like to introduce our two opponents for this match. First up, hailing from the United States of America, he is an Upper Midwest 10-ball champion. Can we put our hands together for Mr. Tyler Styer? And his opponent, hailing from Japan. He's won a qualifier in Japan, made it all the way to the top 16, and he is still playing today in the quarterfinals. Can we put our hands together for Masato Yoshioka? Gentlemen, have a great match, and you may lag for break.
Well, here we are, folks. Welcome to the Predator World 10-Ball Championships, proudly presented by CueSports International. This is George Teja, joined in the booth by Jeremy Jones. Jeremy, what kind of a game do we have here today?
Well, I'm sure another one with a lot of great play. Two guys, probably whoever makes it here to the Final Four from these two gentlemen, Yoshioka and Tyler Styer, will be maybe the underdog on the card when it comes to the semifinals. But like we talked about, I think it was Jim and I in a match or two ago, that I kind of believed anybody that got to the final 16 could win this tournament.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Tyler Styer, probably the hottest player in the U.S. He's been coming along, improving day after day after day, just getting better and better. One of the things I was told by someone running Fargo is in this tournament, he is playing at an 854 Fargo rate. And his rating is 746. So he's playing 120 points over his rating. So he's playing extremely well.
Not sure. I guess just by the wins, I guess.
By the wins and the quality of wins, and it's against who he's played, too.
Right.
The wins who he's played. Masato Yoshioka. I had it right, and this slipped me. He's a 765 Fargo, so normally he's about 20 points above Tyler, but he is the only player that in this match right here that's undefeated. There was 8 players coming in at the beginning. Now we're down to 4. We're going to be down to 4 players, and we're off and running. Can he see this ball?
Yes, he can.
Yeah, so
he had to take a little bit of a chance on the one ball. I think he had to put a bit of right English to make the one. I think the 8 had him just partially cut off. So, and he had to get down table for the 2 in the side. He had no play in the corner with the 4 being there. So, like I said, he had to take a little bit of a chance and got a little fortunate to get by the 10. But now off and running in game 1 of our final qualifier and what will fill our final semifinal place in the tournament. Now watch out for the bump here.
Oh, this could be dangerous.
And there comes the jump cue, I believe.
Yeah, looks like he's snookered himself just a little bit. Maybe not. Well, that's
he's
the
got a
4-ball.
piece
Yeah,
of it.
I'm sorry.
He's got a piece of it. And really, he should actually probably consider just see what he's got. No, I don't think he can spin to make it. I think that's asking a lot. But if you can get at the 4, you need to maybe look at placing the 4 up in between the 9 and 10 and bringing the cue ball down behind the 9 on the end rail. I don't think he's, he's probably a little favorite to make this.
And he's let it get away.
Yeah, and it's going to come down table and rest for what looks like a nice shot for Tyler Styer. And right away, Tyler gets a chance to get on the board and maybe steal that break away from Yoshioka.
Yoshioka, yes. Big break there for Styer.
And Tyler.
These are fairly open, too.
Oh, very open, and he doesn't have much angle, but he's close to it, so he should be able to maneuver the cue ball up. And he might keep it just a little underneath the 5 on that left side rail. He could come out 2 rails on top and try and get to the middle. I think I'd keep it pretty simple here, yeah, and that's pretty good too. But Tyler, a very methodical player, likes to do some investigation before he shoots just about every shot.
You work with him quite a bit. Is this part of your training with him to make sure you know exactly where to go, what to play, and how to play it before you step to the table?
And he had a bit of that temperament also, but there's things that go along with it that help you a whole lot. That, you know, when you're under pressure, if you just kind of rely on the information you give the brain and just let the cue flow, things seem to happen better. And that's kind of what it is when you take your time a little bit. You're not so much trying to be so careful, just trying to tune your brain in a little bit more for what you're wanting to do. Kind of connect the brain to the body, you might say.
Looks to me like both players are playing with Predator Revo shafts, one of our sponsors. In fact, our host sponsor. We are sponsored by Kamui, Predator, Omega Billiards, CueSports International.
Well, after Tyler cleans up these last 2 and gets on the board 1-0, we'll get to see what, in my opinion, maybe borderline the best break in the world. I know that's hard to say, but man, he can break them.
Can he?
Well, it's just, you know, that's a hard thing to say, I guess, with how everyone else breaks, and there's so many. But maybe the upside of the break, meaning I think he's got the highest potential to.
Okay, to really improve it and make it.
Well, he can crank it up.
Okay.
That's what I mean, and
Gotcha.
and it's hard to really tell playing a tournament with the template because.
You don't have to.
Well, not only do you not have to, it really can help a little bit of mishits here and there on the break, but when you play with the triangle, especially 10 ball, I'll tell you, when you watch this young man break the balls, and a race to 8, it's not going to affect you that much. It's not supposed to. You just got to deal with it, especially alternate break. But in another tournament, longer races, winter break, could be a little intimidating.
Well, this is being played by one of our sponsors' tables, and it's Diamond Billiard Products, and it's played on the Predator XK2 cloth. They're using the Predator Arcos 2 balls. Along with the Predator chalk that's on the table right by his elbow.
And that one there.
That break,
yeah, no,
that
that's
9-ball
just
fly, the 2-ball fly. It goes, no, the 3-ball didn't quite get there, but it's set up for a nice shot after he pockets the 1.
And that's like 60% for Tyler. That's like the effortless one there.
Wow, so he's got like about a 30-mile-an-hour break or more.
Well, yeah, and just the connection's always good. Even when he misses it a hair, the cue ball usually flies past the sides, which really eliminates that scratch, even when the mishit is there a hair. And probably just like you saw here in his first break, he makes a lot of balls. And then when you talk about having to do a lot of work after the break, he's got way the best of it when it comes to that when his break is on.
And in 10-ball with the big break, wow, it can lead to a lot of success. And the fact that he's in this quarterfinal, it leads to it shows. It's proven. 64 players started out on Monday, and we're down to the final. There's with these guys, once this one loses, we're down to the final 4. So right now there's 5 people left in this tournament, 1 to be eliminated in this match.
Well, this is a shot here on the new felt. He's got to be a little careful punching around it. He doesn't get too much down on the ball and come near the 6. Okay. Nice shot.
Oh, beautifully. The winner of this match will play Ko Ping Chung, 23-year-old Chinese Taipei player, who we just watched on the match previous.
Okay, looks like he's going to try and pinch this one a little bit. eliminate that angle he's dealing with and bring the cue ball up the side rail towards the 5. So it'll probably be like straight low. You don't really want the left on this one. You want it going slowly.
Mm-hmm. And he's telling us he's guiding. Well, he's guiding me through the rack. You already know what he's going to shoot.
Well, things can change quickly in this game, and the main thing here is stay off the rail. The 7's available both ways, so getting back across is not hard as long as you keep some angle. And that's one thing you'll see about Tyler is very similar, a little longer, of course, of a stroke than some of the Chinese Taipei players, but really stresses and uses a lot of timing and length in the swing to move the cue ball. I mean, he can amp it up as well, but
yeah, you can tell he can put a stroke on the ball. He can really put a stroke on it. He's got himself in perfect position for this 7 in the corner. And leaving the cue ball in the same area for the 10 ball.
I'll just pinch this and keep the cue ball off the rail. You see that? Just easy.
Mm-hmm.
And what it really does is when you're more of a person that uses a bit more of timing. Everyone uses some timing, but if you rely on it a little bit more, you just hit the cue ball more accurate because the swing speed isn't as hard, and well, therefore the stroke doesn't break down, and the tip usually goes up or to the left or right or one way or another. And if you're somebody that's a little more punchy, when you're off, you get a little shorter, you get a little quicker, and you try to replace. Instead of using timing to gain power, you replace it with speed, and then sometimes that can be hard to handle. But now a 2-0 lead. Yoshioka he needs to take advantage.
Well, he truly had one stolen, so he's down 2-0. And in this alternate break format, this is a race to 10, single elimination. Yoshioka is already trailed by a break. He's got to make one up.
Yeah, and I watched him practice his break, and none of the times he was practicing he had that heavy spin on the cue ball like he did in his opening break, so that tells me probably a bit of a miss hit on the first one. We'll see if he can get a little flatter cue ball and no spin. Sometimes the spin's intended, but not as much with the 10-ball break.
Well, we are playing WPA rules.
That was much better. You see a much
yeah,
flatter cue ball.
There goes the 6.
Oh, and immediately in a bad position.
Yeah. The cue ball's down at the bottom of the table instead of being at the top or in the middle.
Well, it was way up there at one time. It just got kissed. It was actually up about level with the 5, just a little left of it. It had a big kiss downward, and with the 1 near the pocket.
Would have been ideal if he could maintain that position.
I think he's got to roll out down between the 10 and the 8 on the end rail, or somewhere to a rail first shot. The 1's a ways away out from the corner.
You know, at this level, the rollouts are they have to be so strategic, because you've got to leave your opponent something that he might shoot that you think he may not execute. He left him, left him a kind of an easy jump shot, didn't he?
Well, yeah, and this is this is one that offers some position, and you know, I'm on the fence on how you're supposed to look at this, and maybe you could help me, George, but he's probably on the fence on this jump shot. He's going to go ahead and pass it, and that may have a little something to do with the 4's a little funny. But I'm starting to think, if you're on the fence about a shot like this,
I think you take the shot.
The reason why I'm getting at that is it's Yoshioka's break. So do you take a little more chance on his break to try and steal that game?
And he's going
Watch
to
out
be
for the
able
cue
to.
ball behind the 2.
Will he get that roll?
Yes, he did.
Wow.
And that's another thing about maybe taking the shot. Something good could happen.
Well, it was a quarter ball jump. And as you said, it came with position for the most part. He pocketed it. He probably gets position on the 2. So that I'm not much of a jumper, but I believe that at this level, I would have taken it. Yeah, but you can't argue with success.
No, not for sure. And what I'm wondering is, like I said, I'm just on the fence. Are you supposed to think about it like, okay, it's his break here. Do I try to, if I'm on the fence about this shot, do I go ahead and take it because it's his break and try and steal the game away from him?
You know, I personally don't think it would come into play. I would just look at the shot and say,
Evaluate no matter
evaluate
what.
the shot.
Well,
Can
that's
I do
what
it
you
this
should
time?
try to
Yeah.
do, but I know I've been in some tournaments, and maybe not at the beginning of a match, but towards the end of a match, I was on the fence on playing safe or shooting at the.
Look at this nice kick.
Wow. Uh-oh. Okay.
What a nice kick shot, perfectly controlled. It worked out absolutely beautifully for Tyler Styer.
Okay, so now he's got a little bit of an angle. He'd love to be able to draw back behind this 3. If you could do that, the 3 goes by the 5 in the upper corner. And good there, like there, yeah. Good chance you can manipulate the cue ball back for the short side on the 4. I wouldn't play for the side pocket here. Now, if you draw past it, you can always cut the 3 in the side and run the cue ball. But if you get really nice, like, okay, this actually might end up perfect, kind of on accident. I think he wanted to draw past it a little bit more, but now he can draw up into the 9. No?
No, it looks like he's going to have to draw with that angle, possibly between the 8-10 and back up.
Well, he's
Or
close.
has he got enough to go
he's
straight
close
back?
to it. When you're close to it,
That's true.
Don't be fooled. Yeah, on the slick felt, you can certainly make it grab easily.
Yeah, that's true. He is a little straighter than I thought at first as I look at this more. He's going to come straight back there.
Yeah, just straight draw.
Yep.
Yeah. You can really bend the ball almost like I think it was Gemini early in the filler match.
Mm-hmm.
He drew by a ball that you would never imagine. He got to one side of the ball when you would have thought it was going to the other side, just because of how slick this felt is and how easily it draws.
Well, this is newer felt than the outer tables, so I'm sure this table plays just a little bit different, but they've all experienced a match here already. Tyler defeated Billy Thorpe in a hard-fought battle, defeated him 10-7 on this table. And Masato Yoshioka, geez, I'm having trouble with that name, defeated Dennis Grab 10-6. So they both had a good go.
I know that didn't look like much of a shot to give you any notion of what's going on, but that was a pretty comfortable swing by young Tyler Styer there, shoving that cue ball to the rail with just a full stroke.
Well, if this young gentleman gets comfortable, we've seen him play extremely well, and the rate he's been playing this tournament has been higher than a higher Fargo rate than anybody else. 100 points over his Fargo he's playing. So he's feeling it. I mean, with his current Fargo rate, he's not even in the top 100. I was able to pull some information. And the top 100 cuts off at about 770. He's down at 746.
Okay, he's got a choice here. I think he'll probably go, oh no, he's going to go ahead and kill the cue ball. This is a shot, if you can develop on a slick table, you have a big advantage. Like if you're not afraid of that shot right
that
there,
shot right
dragging the ball in.
Yes, it's a beautiful shot.
And not just on that type of shot, many shots throughout the rack on TV tables per se. Many tables, but especially on the TV tables, you can really minimize the cue ball movement.
Because they usually play a little slicker.
Well, yeah, it's just, and it opens the pocket up. You know, we know there's drag conditions and it's extra drag conditions here in Las Vegas. And with a good full stroke, pocket opens up pretty nice on that type of shot.
Well, in the previous tournament, since it's almost like 2 tournaments here, we had a double elimination race to 8 until we got to the final 16, and they redrew, and now it's a race to 10. But Tyler defeated Fedor Gorst 8-2, Mark Bisterbosch 8-5. He lost to Mark Bisterbosch 8-5, defeated Raymond Farone, and then John Mora and Maximilian Lechner to get to this match right here. His opponent defeated Kunlin Wu, Carlo Beato, Jeffrey Ignacio. So They both played some champions, and they both came away winners. And that's exactly what you have to do in this field.
So you're saying Tyler beat Lechner this morning?
No, yesterday in the tournament, or the first part of the tournament.
Okay.
It was his last match. Yeah.
And then he beat Billy Thorpe this morning.
And he beat Billy
yeah,
Thorpe this
they
morning,
drew each
10-7,
other.
yeah.
That's right. Okay. Got a little much energy on those, but you see 3 on the break again. It's just, you're going to see that a lot with Tyler breaking. Just really gets a lot out of the rack. And here a position he most likely will not roll out, even though he's trying to see if he can go offensive in any kind of way.
Well,
and I think he will. He may play this to the lower left if you're looking at your screen. Let the cue ball come to the side rail.
But the 2-ball is blocked to the side, is blocked to that upper corner.
Well,
so unless he does something with it, maybe not blocked for the upper corner.
If he shoots the one, it's definitely open somewhere. Now the one thing about this is your tendency is you get to the side rail quicker with the cue ball, you tend to overcut this a hair. So you got to know you're going to come deep with the cue ball.
Made it. He's got the 2-ball for that upper corner pocket.
Needs a little bump.
No.
Still a great shot though.
It did go by to the corner, and it does go by to the corner.
Now he's looking at the long rail bank on the 2, where he may be able to hold the cue ball behind the 610 while also gaining shape on the 3.
Oh, that's a nice 2-way.
Yeah,
it's a real nice 2-way.
I think it's a little bit much right now, but you got a 3-0 lead. You definitely have a safety with all these balls there, that being the 3-4, the 7, the 6-10. He could easily chip the 2 away and bring the cue ball back.
For those viewers at home, if you just noticed, you call for an extension. We are using a 40-second time clock, and the player gets warned at 10 seconds, and usually they call for an extension. At that time, he's hitting the 4, so came up fortunate to get behind the 7.
Yeah.
This is an alternate break format.
That is one of
in case you didn't mention it.
One of the aspects of that shot. You could still get lucky with it as well, but there were many safeties there, so.
He would have had the safety if he clears the 7.
Well, you think so, but I mean, a lot of times with that bank, you sometimes hang it and the guy kicks it in pretty easy on you. You want a little more for sure's when you have the choice for him. That's all.
Here's a nice kick shot where he can play safe with the cue ball. There we go.
And he's left the gap.
No, he's blocked it with a 3. I think Tyler will be jumping this. He'll go for the short cue right away.
Yeah, and he'll be a favorite to make it. Another one that's just really exceptional with the jump cue.
Well, Tyler's been doing good on this world stage. 64 players from 24 countries. Give you an idea of the type of talent. Nothing like this has been played on U.S. soil in the past 22 years. 1997 was the last world tournament held on U.S. soil.
Well, man, I think I know 3-0. It happens a lot in matches, and sometimes 4-0 is what we're looking at. But I think a big shot for Tyler Styer and Yoshioka as far as what may be the outcome of this match on this 3-ball. He gets this one down here. A lot of pressure on Yoshioka. Yeah. Okay.
That ball's been going in all day. When Jim and I were looking at that, we saw several of those shots from that camera angle, and it catches that corner and slides right in.
Well, you got to understand it's the best in the world shooting it, and anytime you make better strokes, the pocket's a little bigger.
Mm-hmm. Well, I tell you, if he gets straight in on the 6-ball, which he did, this opened up real nice for this young man. Tyler got his place here in this Predator World 10-ball on a wild card. There was, I believe, 5 wild cards, and he got one of them. Yoshioka was the only qualifier that made it to the remaining 16, and still here. But after this game, I'm gonna have to call it, he's struggling right here. He's going to be down 3-0, but we've seen this turn around. Right about here is where it starts to turn around, because it'll be Tyler's break. No, it'll be Masato's break.
It'll be Masato's break, yeah.
Yoshioka.
It'll be 4-0 after this 10.
Well, Yoshioka started breaking, didn't he?
Yeah, he'll break here.
He'll break here,
now, yeah. Yeah, he won the lag. He broke and made the 1 and went up table and got on the 2 and just didn't finish the run.
Well, that's 4 unanswered games for Tyler Styer. Little break here. .25 of the top 50 Fargo-rated players were in this tournament. 13 world champions were in this tournament. I believe there's 3 remaining. The 2 Coe brothers, or 4, is it 4? And Josh Filler, 3. Saw a fine match earlier. We've seen a couple. The first semi played tomorrow at 12 will be Koping Yi versus Josh Filler. And it'll be the winner of this match versus Koping Chung for the other semifinal.
Yeah, the 2 Coe brothers.
Yeah, we could have a KO final.
That's right. Family affair.
We are in the midst of the BCAPL World Championships and the USAPL National Championships held at the Rio All Suites Hotel and Casino. We have 4,000 players in attendance for those events. We have 3 ballrooms with 337-foot diamond tables that they play on, and then we have these beautiful 8 diamond 9-foot tables, all covered in the Predator XK2 cloth, and they're using the Predator Arcos 2 balls. Sponsored by Kamui, and if you want to visit their websites, it's kamuitips.com. Sponsored by Omega Billiards, and it's omegabilliards.com. Diamond Billiard Products, Predator, PredatorCues.com, Whirlpool Billiards, and CueSports International. And we're back in action with Masato Yoshioka breaking the balls, trailing 0-4 in a race to 10 single elimination match.
And he missed a bit of a safety earlier, but really, I mean, hasn't done a whole lot wrong. I mean, he got in a funny spot on the first game. The second game he broke, that he got kissed back up underneath the 7 with the 1 hanging and had to roll out to a jump shot.
Nice.
I didn't hear anything. Just
there
said,
goes
okay,
the 9.
9's down. And
the 1 ball was going straight there, and it got kissed, and then the 9 ball just flew in the pocket.
so even 4-0, and many would say a game that's really, really must needed. He's got to reset, as Jim Weiss says, and get at it. Now, I like him just coming as quickly as he can to position. He could come all the way down for the side, and he's got to feel good about it. But, man, I don't mind just coming 1 rail beyond the 6 and taking the 2 in the lower. Yeah, like there. That's what I like. Really nice. That just offers a 1 rail position over for the 3 that's real natural, and you don't have to do much to get the run started.
Right, like you say, be quick to position, and that would be very quick to it. Just come by the 6.
Yeah.
Right there.
He's gone a little far, but the closer he gets to it, even though it's a hair more angle, you figure to
strike it better.
Yeah, heighten the accuracy a little, and speed shouldn't be a problem. He can bounce off this second rail if he wants. The main thing here is get through it. That way you don't deflect and catch the 8 coming out. Because you don't really want to apply inside English here too much. All right, nice shot.
Oh, he's landed nicely on the 3 ball.
Not taking much time here either. in a good spot. And with the 4, 5, 6 so handy, the 8 over the side. So the 7, even though it's on the side rail, shouldn't be an issue.
He just wants not. Once he pockets the 7, he just doesn't want the cue ball on the rail. But the 8's so available that if he gets there, it really doesn't present much of a problem.
No, especially with the 10 so available.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it should be off the rail anyways, because you're definitely not going to want to shoot from the rail off when you shoot the 7. So you definitely want it off there a good 2 or 3 inches at least.
The cue ball's round for a reason. You want to hit it in all.
Well, he got
everywhere
pretty
you
straight. He got pretty straight. I'll tell you that.
Yes, he
shouldn't
did.
be a problem, but
He's
sometimes you get a funny visual on this, and you want to put a lot of right English on it.
Oh, this is a tough shot.
And it can get away from you.
Yeah, this can be pinched.
Yeah.
He hit it perfect, but look at the cue ball. It's just glued to the rail.
Mm-hmm. As you mentioned, the 8 so available, the 10 so available.
Just a nice stroke on this. He should land it on. Just bounce it off the rail a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go. And it looks he's gonna put an end to this 4-game streak by Tyler. And finally, he scores his first game in the 5th. Predator is the name of the game here. The tournament, the cloth, the balls, the cues the gentlemen are using. Tyler to break the balls using a BK Rush. I was looking over at the Predator booth looking at them. They have a nice sport grip on it, or they also have the wrapless. So you get a choice. They're both very nice, great balance. I hear great things about the break cues. And of course, the Revo shaft is so innovative. You have other cue makers coming out with a Me Too, or their own version of the carbon fiber. They were first on the market, if I'm not mistaken. Now here's that break you were talking about, Jeremy. Let's see how hard he hits this one.
Well, do you want to bet against 3 on the break?
1, 2, no.
3,
3,
4. Okay.
Wow.
And that's the thing. You just, when you are eliminating 3 and 4 balls on the break, it seems like you get a shot on every ball. So it doesn't matter which one's the lowest number. You're going to get some type of look. There's just so much clearance.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's one. See how you're feeling.
This is quite a shot. You just bank this to the corner.
No, I think cut it. Just come where he's laying his cue right there.
Does he? Can he cue properly?
I think so. I think he can get a little bit of left, which is what he wants, just a hair. Other shot is he could kick behind this ball and try and knock the one down below the 9, 10.
The 3 balls there, yeah. The old kick and stick from the long rail.
I like him shooting though. I really do. I haven't seen anything miss-hit yet. So I got to believe he's going to aim pretty well.
It looks like he is shooting.
He's got the type of stroke that cuts the ball easily.
I believe he's called for his extension. He wants to make up his mind. He wants to commit to the shot.
Okay, now he looks like he's all right. All right.
No, he's called it.
He's called it. Now he's kicking behind this. He's called it. That's just in case he swerves into it.
Okay. And he's left the shot. Had it stopped a little sooner, but a lot harder.
I think he can draw off the 9. No?
Yeah.
All right.
He might just push it back there and just let the cue ball, let the 9 ball
that.
stop him.
I don't like that. Not at all. I like him probably attacking before this.
Then just try the safety attempt. I think
Yeah, there's a lot of gaps there. This cue ball could get away easy.
And he's going to use the 9 ball to stop.
Okay, pretty nice. Now, do you kick softly and try and contain, or do you take a chance with a little more speed here?
I think I'd be tempted to go for this ball 2 rails, the side rail and the head rail. And the reason for that, for me particularly, is I play a lot of one pocket, and That's a shot that comes up quite a bit. And I hit it pretty good. So that for me, for him, I'm saying this is, you know, the game better than I do. Is you going one rail and trying to hold it up?
No, he's going to kick 2 rails underneath it, I think, and he's trying to send the 1 between the 8-4. And if you kick 2 rails underneath it and you put enough speed, your cue ball will come towards the 10 and the 6.
So I got you. He was measuring his line for the 1 ball after he kicks it from behind.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
You need to spin this, though. You got to create a little friction. That way the 1 will come back, the cue ball will come back towards the 10. Now,
oh. Well, first error we've seen from Tyler.
Okay, so Yoshioka is just going to shoot the 1 and stop his ball, I believe. He could draw back. I wouldn't mess with that. I would just stop right there and shoot the 4 and bounce over. He's going to draw back for the 4 in the same hole. Did he get there? And that's why he almost didn't get there on that shot.
It didn't look like it, did it?
Just seemed pretty easy just to knock the 4 up in the upper corner and come across for the 6. I understand the thoughts behind wanting to get the easier shot. But
he's got a little bit of an angle, not much. He's just going to bring it back a little so he can cue right. Well, he brought it back a lot and came after it. Closed the gap, you might say. And looks like he might have stolen 1 back.
yeah, just really one service breakdown. If he gets out here, that is, which.
Pretty sure he will.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a big scratch for Tyler, and Yoshioka enjoyed it. Stole the game back, closed the gap a little bit.
4-2 now. And breaking.
And breaking, yeah. So this is how the gaps get closed. Just little things like, well, they're big things actually, like that.
Well, yeah, it's just a number of different ways things turn around in a game, but pretty similar to how that gap got started.
Exactly.
Just a little kiss on the cue ball to where it really put Yoshioka in a horrible position a couple games, and then Tyler Styer just taking full advantage. Yoshioka got a little lucky on a jump shot. Tyler made a great kick shot on the 1, crossed the table, and then proceeded to win that game. And
there's a good look at Tyler staying focused. And like you're just saying, it just seems that the roles balance out. As the race is longer, the roles will balance out. A lot of intangibles in the game of pool.
Okay, there's that 4-railer that has been the saving grace, you might say, when players have missed the rack a little bit more than a little.
Yeah.
That 4-railer's still gone a lot of times.
It does seem to find its way around the table. It's funny how the cue ball gets bumped a lot, but that 4-railer doesn't.
Right. Now I wonder if you felt real good about it, you could cut the 1 into the 210 here and lay the cue ball behind the 9. I just don't see any future in making the 1. Maybe he can make, if he can make the 1 easy and hold position to play safe on the 2, that's all right. But maybe he can do that.
It's hard to get the cue ball down below the 2 for the side pocket. So I agree. I like your shot.
Yeah, I think.
I like your shot. Well, he's going to tie them all up.
Well, meanwhile, he left him a rail first, and I would have been a little more aggressive, I think, with the 9 and 3 there. Go ahead and, you might say shake the bush a little bit on the 1, 2, and 10.
I like your shot.
And bring the cue ball back to the 9.
Sure.
It didn't appear the 1 would ever get away from anywhere. He may be able to throw this 10 in and keep shooting.
Yep.
This ball may throw.
It does throw with a jump. Or even with the rail first, excuse me.
Oh, well, it looks like maybe he's got to jump it.
Oh.
Well, that means it's going to have speed. And he's got to hit the
He's got to hit the left side of it.
Okay, well, he can't make it jumping and hitting the one on that side. He has to hit, if you're looking at your screen, is the one nearest the rail on the left side, our left side, his right side. That's why I thought he could kick at it by the 7 and maybe throw it in.
He could probably do it soft, but hard this might throw the other
No,
way.
he's hitting the wrong side to throw it, ain't he? Yeah, it went right into the rail. And
Yep. You had to hit the other side of it to throw it in. That's why your rail first shot
looked good.
because of the speed looked good.
And it's the side you needed to hit on, which is even, first things first, you need the right speed. But if you have to throw a ball a particular way, if you don't hit it on the correct side, it doesn't matter what speed you have on it. It's not going.
Right. Well, he's got a little cut shot here, and this opens up after this shot.
Yeah, he's got to get nice position on the 2. Just because the 3 doesn't pass the 10, it doesn't appear. And that looks pretty nice.
Oh, he's left himself the perfect angle to come up for the 3.
We're kind of settling in here now. Thing about this one here, he's got to draw his ball. So you'd like to think, oh man, I can just draw it down this little line right here and just play the 3 in the upper right-hand corner. But you kind of let up on it sometimes, and this ball can drift towards the 7. So realize you have a 3 ball that goes in the right side pocket as well. And the best thing is don't let up on this little draw stroke, or else you may lose the line of the cue ball. Yeah, see, there's a little cut there, so he may go into the 7 with the cue ball like that. Nothing wrong with that either.
He knows it's going to stop him right there. And he couldn't get behind it. It was so close to the rail.
Okay, so if he can't move outward towards the middle, he may just stop right there and accept that angle. Yeah, that 2-rail angle.
Go 2 rails for the 5 ball.
Yeah, I like the 2-rail angle more than, let's say, go forward here and get heavier and go 1 rail through it. I like to just stop here and take the 2-rail angle on the 4 to come to the center of the table for the 5. Yeah, I think that's a smart play.
Just play to the middle of the table.
Mr. Yoshioka, Yoshioka, excuse me, which I haven't seen a ton of, doesn't play slow. Gets on with it.
It's nice to have a nice rhythm in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Especially once you get comfortable. I guess when you're uncomfortable, I can understand taking, I don't want to call it considerable time, but being deliberate and making up your mind. But the rhythm, once you settle in, it seems to flow, and it seems your game, you play better than when you question yourself.
Well, the one thing is, you go through a bunch of the shots that are routine and things you've done a lot of times, and when you start to let the brain get involved a little too much on those types, you can start to turn something or from nothing, turn it into something from nothing on something that's really just an everyday thing for a professional pool player.
Yeah, it looks like Yoshioka is going to make quick work of this. And he's playing with a beautiful cue. He's playing with the Predator Black Series. Beautiful cue. Very intricate work on it.
And did he get straight here?
No, he's got just enough angle. He's got just enough to...
kind of shook his head a little bit, so that tells me he may have to follow through this ball. And
this is just beautifully done. And now he's rattled back. He's come back with 3 games of his own. It'll be Tyler's break. But Yoshioka has worked his way back. Just be 1 game down.
Little mini streaks here in our final quarterfinal. 4 to open for Styer, and then Yoshioka 3 right back at you.
And the only way to stop this is for Tyler to be successful on his break and maintain his break. Go back to a 2-game lead. We've seen some great matches all along. There were so many. So far today, the matches have all been, with the exception of one, they've all been 10-8, pretty close to Hill-Hill. We had so many Hill-Hill matches in the opening round. We had 9 Hill-Hill matches. When this tournament started on Monday with 64 players. Look at that break. Cue ball stopped in the middle of the table. 3 balls, almost 4.
It was
he did
4.
Make 4. It was 4.
And that's what I mean as far as, and that's just not even, that's the speed he breaks with when using the template. When he goes to like a regular rack, he can amp it up, and similar to like a Jeffrey DeLuna, he can redline the speed, and he doesn't lose much control.
Well, that 3 ball doesn't get kissed, and he's got 5, because it was headed for the pocket, 4 railed into the corner pocket.
And if you can look at again in a race to 10 or a race to 8 here in the tournament format, or at least this tournament format, it doesn't have to make a difference, because he can make 3 or 4 balls and always get snookered, or cue ball get kissed out of position, and he could still get eliminated from the tournament. But you look at a longer session,
yes, sure.
winter break, you can see how
this is.
Yeah, well, you can see how devastating a guy just having to run 6, 7 balls, sometimes maybe 5 on you.
Well, that's how it plays to his advantage. Exactly. Yeah. Wow, big advantage. Could be that's what's kept him here.
Well, I think it has a big part of it for sure. I mean,
especially playing at an 854 speed Fargo. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to. I've never heard of that before. As far as
playing over your rating.
No, I've never heard of them being able to give you a rating from the matches you've played.
They do it by tournament. They've actually posted. I've seen this posted.
But there's not, there's no one seeing if there was mistakes made or any of that, right?
Fargo has nothing to do with that.
Yeah,
it's just results. It's just game results.
Right.
Yeah, this isn't an AccuStat.
No, I get it, but
yeah.
I just say, like, all right, so what are the other guys shooting at? It seems like to me if you get to the semifinals, it's going to be a super high rating in this field no matter how you play.
That's just right, because he's playing against players that are rated so high over him, and he's beating them with pretty efficient scores. Like he defeated Federer Gorst 8-2.
Right.
Billy Thorpe 10-7.
Right.
And Billy has a higher rating. He defeated he lost 8-5 by Mark Bischerbosch, who has a much higher rating also. John Mora, Max Lechner.
Right, but I mean, so you put him at 854 in this tournament, right?
Right.
Well, what's the highest rating on Fargo?
820. I've got him right here. Here's the top 100. Chiang Wu with an 826. Shane has an 822, for example.
So I got to figure out how that works, because he's 30 points higher than anybody exists in the world for this tournament.
Yes, that's the rating he's playing.
Okay.
Just the formulas that they use in Fargo. They're hard to explain, but they'll swear by them. Yeah, Jack Murray ran those numbers and was pleasantly surprised, because Tyler's his favorite player right now. He's just so hot. And he texted me, actually, I believe this morning he texted me and let me know that. And I said, well, I'll hold on to that, because that's an amazing stat. That's a great stat. And it really plays to his coming up as the way he is. Just getting better every day. He just seems to be playing better. His Fargo has gone up quite a bit. When he first started, I believe probably this year he was much lower, and he's come up real strong. And he's at 740. Is it 746? Yeah, he's at 746. So he's playing 110 points, almost 108 points over his normal speed.
Well, it sounds like he's playing 35 points over anybody that's ever played Fargo.
Exactly. Or yeah, pretty much. He's doing real well by this rating system. Well, Yoshioka to break the balls. Controlled.
Well.
Send him. Here comes a 9. No 9 ball, but I saw
A
something
ball up
go
in the corner.
Yeah.
He's going to get a little unlucky here. He's going to get dead elevated. Another little kiss on the cue ball. He's got a shot on the 1, but man, what a tester. And he can't really, I don't know if he can afford to punch this ball. It's really difficult to go forward. He doesn't want to just roll it and lay behind the 6, take a chance on that. So he may just roll it with enough speed to get to the rail and out for a cut shot on the 2.
Tyler held his break. Now Masato Yoshioka must hold his. He's got a shot, but he's elevated. And it cost him. That elevation just really decreases your accuracy.
Yeah, and he wanted to punch it. That would have been a nicer way to shoot it, you think. I think this cross-side bank is maybe available. Okay, he's not going to play it. He's going to lay him down behind the 9-10.
Cue ball behind the 4? Or keep it on that side behind the 6?
No, I think the cue ball's, he's going to clip the 1 and put the 1 up, kind of just let it bounce off the rail a little bit behind the 6, and then let the cue ball go behind the 9-10, maybe? In between the 5-7?
He's going to go the opposite way. I think
Maybe.
he's placing the 1 ball down there.
Maybe. He's got choices, that's for sure. He's got a bunch of choices, actually.
Yeah, I like your shot. Going off the bottom left side of the 1 with the cue ball.
And the one thing is, if you can't get the 1 up where the 6 is going to cover it up, you might stay away from this, but you can really pin him here if you hit it well.
He's going to pin him right up, almost right up against it.
I don't think he's left him a shot.
Yeah, he has.
Or real close.
Well, it's going to be a real slight jump if he has to jump it. He's not wasting any time. He's going back for that jump cue.
Yeah, this might be more of the longer part of the jump cue. Some of them have the 3 handles where they become shorter, but want a little more power on this one. Not just because of the distances. You want to move the cue ball over a little bit if you can.
Well, he hit it pretty good, but it rattled out. Tyler's got a long shot.
Yeah, it's a real borderline shot, though. If he feels like he can go by the 10 easily, I don't mind it. If he's a little worried about that, you might just all right, he's going to shoot at it. He feels confident. Okay, so there's no worries of the 10, so he'll probably make a little better stroke, a little freer stroke on this 1.
Yeah, with just
and
a
get
hint.
to the 2, right?
Yeah, with a hint of right English, I believe he's able to clear the 10 and go towards that 2 off the back rail.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to put much English just because that offers a thicker hit. And a harder, thicker hit really presents going into the 10 with the cue ball.
Oh, he's left a shot here. But it's nothing, it's not a sure thing. But a shot nonetheless. Look at that. He seems to be sponsored by Diamond. And I can't read his logo on the right side.
Extension.
Yoshioka is sponsored by Predator. He's also sponsored by Nishiote. Nishioti.
Okay, it looks like he's spinning around the 6, maybe taking a little chance coming down below these balls, and I tell you.
He's got the 7.
Oh, he got the window.
Wow.
Well, you might say he deserved a little bit of roll. He hasn't gotten many.
Well, if you can get this one, he holds his break.
A big shot in the upper left-hand corner coming across for an open 3. Now the 7-10's a little bit of a issue later in the rack, but first things first. Nice shot. Real clean hit there.
Nice on the 3. He's going to have to worry about the 4, though, sooner or later. I don't believe it goes by the 10. Is that the 4 or the 7?
No, the brown.
The
No,
7.
that's the
brown.
7,
Okay.
yeah. But I think
There you go.
the carom shot is okay.
Okay.
It's not great. I mean, you need to be in a nice area, and it's a lot of carom shots. Just like this one, you can shoot from some distance as long as you're in the right place.
Well,
it doesn't matter distance away that much, but this is one you want to be a little more tidy, meaning get close to that side rail after he shoots the 6 here in a couple shots to try and flick the 10 in off the 7.
Yeah, well,
of course, that's just to continue the run. That's not to win the game.
It's not to win the game. The angle that he gets on the 6 here is very important to get where he wants to. He just aims from for that billiard that you talked about.
And that's another reason why you want to get tidy to it, because the 10's not a winner. So you want to have nice control. That's going to be a little light, and he's not going to be too happy about that, because now it's very hard to get close.
And it's also hard to hold it on that side.
Well, yeah, he can hold it, but he'll have to either roll it or put a little English on it, which is going to promote him having to shoot this carom shot from some distance. And so controlling the 7, say if the 9 wasn't there, well, now we don't have near as many worries on that carom as far as continuing on to the shot on the 7. But if he has to shoot this from some distance, something could get away from him, and I believe it's a little missable.
Oh, it's a lot missable.
Okay.
Oh, he went around.
Yeah.
Look at this.
He kind of one-stroked
He
that.
didn't quite get over there, did he?
No. He's just going to have to chip the 7 and lay him up on the 10. Still, it should be a pretty good snooker, you would think.
If he can put him between the rail and the 10, yes. If not, he's going to leave that 7 close for a kick.
Now you should flick this with just a touch of right English, and 7 shouldn't be too kickable. Yeah, like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I meant. It's just he's in tight.
Yeah,
tight, so he took away the kick.
Yeah, that was, at all costs, that may have been your percentage play all along.
Sure.
Just because you could play position for that safety in a lot of areas. But I tell you, this is another one of those, when you hit it, you make it quite a bit, even though it's a good 6 or 7 inches from the pocket.
Is he kicking at those 2 rails?
Yes, sir, and maybe catch the 3rd right before, but you probably just 2.
Jeremy, you don't like kicking it the opposite? Kicking to the side rail where he's at and then the bottom rail?
Or he
He's
might have
made
made
it.
this.
He might have made it. Whoa, awfully close.
The side rail?
Yeah, like he could have kicked it this way, hitting the side rail. And
underneath the 10?
Underneath the 10.
Yeah, I don't think
Didn't
so.
like that?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I think he couldn't. I don't think he could get by the 10 both
Okay.
ways. Yeah. I do like the shorter kick to try and kick safe probably or something, but because you're so much more accurate usually. But that one he was
Well,
cut off, and Yoshioka done a fine job there.
Yeah, he has earned his game with a nice safety. That's a good example of how safeties win games. For those of you that like to play those hero shots to win, safeties can do it too. Now we're only within a game. Tyler wants to make sure he maintains his break. Got quite the crowd here. Got players from the BCAPL, the USA PL in attendance.
Okay, Tyler Styer to break off here in the 10th game. We're racing to 10. This is our final, and this is our last quarterfinal of
the night.
what is day 4. And we'll go on to day 5 tomorrow for 2 semifinals, one at noon and second at 3:30. Then on to the finals at 8 p.m. Pacific.
So we still have a day of some of the best pool you'll ever see in 10 ball, because this is one of the best fields assembled on U.S. soil in 22 years.
Again, just has the
There's
speed
that 8
down.
ball. There's a 4 ball.
2 in the side. He's made 4 again.
That's the best break I've seen this tournament.
Well,
consistently.
I don't throw those types of words around.
No, you
and
didn't.
George,
You hadn't. We've done many matches so far, and you hit that one right on the head. You're familiar with his game.
well, yeah, that's just
One ball.
certain things certain players do that all of them do it well, but it's just a hair of a different class when it comes to Tyler Styer and a few others.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Shane Van Boning. And
Well,
we all got to credit him a bit.
for leading the way and practicing the break the way he'd been so dedicated to it, and showing the importance of such a good break.
Yeah, and I told you before that this type of break, as far as the results you're looking for, it's been around a while, but just Shane perfecting the hit on, what's the most efficient way to repeat it, which has really been the pioneer in 10 ball these days as far as the break's concerned.
It's funny, that bank shot he just shot, he shot it a very smart way. He shot it to the outside of the pocket in case he missed it, because the 3 ball was there, and I think he was expecting to be rewarded for shooting it that way, and it went right by the 3, caught the corner, ended up where it is. And big break for Yoshioka.
And Yoshioka in a nice position, and he fell behind early, but there was one little error in there, but everything else was just a bit of what he was offered, and it wasn't much. And again, Tyler Styer taking full advantage, and also with a couple of breaking runs of his own to get that 4-0 lead. So Yoshioka,
If he can win
sticking
this one,
to it,
yeah,
right?
if he can stick, yeah, he's grinding it out. He says, I'm here to play. I'll take my turn at the table, and I'll do what I can. He's just controlling his controllables. And let the rolls fall where they have. They seem to have balanced out, so a win here evens up the score, evens up the breaks, and it's a race to 5.
He wasn't too happy with that last little stroke. He wanted to draw past the 9. You don't really usually want to have full draw shots from 9 to 10. No matter if there's not much distance, you usually want that natural angle to go the rail and over. Just makes life a little easier. But now, still a 10 ball, it's 90 plus out of 100 it should be.
Pockets it, the cue ball's in a safe location, and he gets his 5th game. We're tied at 5. The break matters no longer, with the exception that since he broke first, if it goes hill-hill, Yoshioka will be breaking for the match. Tyler, I'm sure, is unhappy to give up that 4-0 lead.
Yeah.
He's only won 1 game in the last 5.
Last 6, he's been beat 5 out of 6 games now and had a 4-0 lead. Yeah, you never feel good about getting beat 5 out of 6, George.
No, no.
Doesn't matter what the
Feels
situation
like
is.
Score might be tied, but it feels like you're losing.
Yeah, definitely a momentum shift, you might say. And there was a couple little opportunities. Tyler missed a little bit, a safety after the break, and then he missed that cross side bank.
Well, he's broken okay.
Oh, he's broken fine, yeah.
He's broken fine. There's the cue ball. Didn't get touched.
Yeah, well, he broke from the right, and guess where? He hit across the left. And that's just with the template rack, no matter playing 8 ball, 9 ball, 10 ball, that's just when the balls don't really go in the positions you're expecting. That's the 2 past the 7. That's a huge thing there in this rack.
You should be able to use the rail to put that 1 ball down past the 5 ball there in that corner.
Wouldn't mind flicking it in off the 5. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. And this 2 is tight, I believe. So
yeah, it looks like it goes.
You want to get real nice and heavy on it. You don't want to be cutting the ball very thinly to a portion of the pocket.
Yeah, but the only way to miss this ball is to cut the ball into the 5. Hit the 5 ball going in. If it hits the rail, I think it slides right in.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And he hit it clean.
Yeah, and perfect speed on the
Beautiful
cue
shot,
ball, I
yeah.
think.
Very nice. And he's as good as you can get on the 2-ball.
Now, I don't think the 3 passes, so he wants to stay above this combination. You don't want to draw back to somewhat full, because then you'll have to hit the cue ball with speed to make the cue ball move. So kind of like the line he's on now, something like that maybe, where he can cut the 3 into the 5, and not a lot of angle, but you do want to be above it a bit, just a bit. Okay, he's bringing it back.
Nice and tight to his work there.
Yeah, and that's fine. He's still got a cut on it. The 3 must go. He's looking at it like it goes easily.
Looks like it does. It looks like he's got half a pocket to go by that 5-ball. In which case he should be able to come back here for this 4 if he's that close.
Yeah.
Oh,
If there was any
if
there was any question there, George, I gotta feel like I'd rather play the 3-5.
Well, I don't think there was a question in his mind. I think just maybe he either misread it or.
Well, no, I don't mean like maybe it went. I'm talking about like just like percentages say that it could be missed. You know, that it didn't take much to miss it. And maybe say it like that.
Apparently it didn't, because he did miss it, and now Yoshioka can steal one here. Well, keep one actually. This is his break, and this will be his 6th game out of 7 if he goes on to win it.
And he's got to gain an angle on the 5 to get back to the 6. The 6 does not pass the 9. So say the position where the 4 is at now, that's where you'll want the cue ball maybe a little bit closer to the 6, but somewhere in there when he shoots the 6. So.
And it looks like ideally he's there for the 5 to get to where you want to go.
Yeah, and this is a little bit of preference. A lot of people want to use that 2nd rail. When I got the 7 there, I like just to use my talent and float 1 rail into that position.
I totally agree. It's a target. The 7 is a target. Did he find it?
Well, he hit it perfect. Wow. Never mind.
Wow.
And he must have been sitting on the angle that made it really nice and confident to come into that rail.
As long as he beat the side pocket there, he had the 7 to keep it from going down too low. Now he's coming right back. Nice angle to get to the 8.
And to get his first lead in this match, and it's going to be over the halfway point. So that's a nice time to have a lead. Or at least if you're going to get your first one, not a bad point.
No, I would kind of like plus the momentum. Yeah. 6 out of 7 games. If I'm Tyler, I think is it his break? It's his break.
It's Tyler's break.
I'd be taking a break.
You think? Maybe,
I would.
Maybe a good time to do that. And
He's
good call there.
He is. He's lost 6 out of 7 games. And his opponent now leads him after he had a 4-0 lead.
Yeah,
so
and
time for a break.
Tyler's had some opportunities too. It wasn't without shots. Wasn't always offensive shots, but he had some to gain control of the table and keep Yoshioka a little more hemmed up at times. But
sure,
he's let a few get away.
Well, you can look at the screen there and you can see our sponsors right across the top. We have Kamui, and they have a booth here at the BCAPL Pavilion Ballroom. You can find them online on KamuiTips.com. We have Omega Billiards. They have a beautiful booth here with all their products proudly displayed. And you can find them online at OmegaBilliards.com. Diamond, of course, Diamond Billiard products. You have the 9 beautiful 9-foot tables. You have 337-foot tables. And then you have Predator. You can find them online at PredatorCues.com. They have a fine booth over there displaying their cues, their shafts. You get to test them out, see what you like. They have plenty of information available, and they'll send you right over to Omega to pick one up. And you have World Pool Billiard Association and
the
CueSports
WPA.
International. Yep, the WPA. And you have representatives from that here too.
Oh, yeah.
And we are at the Predator World 10-Ball Championships. Get some info on that. You can go to world10ball.com. So we're here live and in person, and we're also giving you direction to go to their websites and find the info you might want to find at your own on your own schedule, your own time, right in front of your computer.
So Tyler Styer to break off in game number 12. Like George said, losing 6 out of 7 and the lead.
That big break's got to work for him. They're holding him up.
And a little bit of a timeout here just for a second.
Mm-hmm. I guess I talked so much I messed up the cameras. And we're off and running.
And
Good view.
He's not going to change much about his break, is he?
No, it's been working beautifully.
Yeah, well, how consistent has the hit been? We all know you got you want the one tracking towards that upper right, but he's made it just about
Yes,
every
it's
time.
gone every
He's
time.
not every time, but he's made it several times.
The 2-ball 4 rails. Watch for that. It kisses.
Okay, he's made
There's the
one.
There's a 9. Went down.
So right on the
Made
border
2
of,
on
of an offensive shot. Is a 3 in the way? I don't think so.
It's close.
I think
Yeah,
it's all right. He could definitely cut it all the way down. I don't mind that shot at all on this table.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's
Yes.
a little dicey going back and forth with the 7 and the 4 there.
Mm-hmm.
That could cause some problems or something unlucky.
Do you like playing safe with the cue ball behind the 2?
Well,
2 rails behind the 2?
No, I like attacking whatever
Okay,
it is here.
okay.
So, but no, and don't really play the 2-way. Just draw. It looks like he's got to draw in between the 7 and 2 with the cue ball.
Oh, total control. And
Yeah.
the 2-way,
Mm-hmm.
just like you called. That's why I like sitting next to Jeremy here, folks.
Mm-hmm.
The wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, I like him taking a little time here, and he may have just been reaching over it there for a second, never going to shoot it, just to see what he could really feel like he can do as far as cue ball movement, and that's all about position for the 3. He can try to come backwards, I'll tell you, and that's really what he'd like to do, but the thing is he wants to go with a high right ball and get the cue ball a little more clear because he doesn't want a whole lot of angle on the 3 to the side.
We're playing all ball fouls, so he's very aware that 8 ball is there, and he better tuck his shirt in. He's checked that. Doesn't want to touch it. And also he's cueing over 2 balls.
And I like that decision to try and get the cue ball clear. Even if you have to handle a little angle on the 3, at least you can manipulate the cue ball now. Plus he's got the corner. He can shove it in now. He's got to shove it and go the rail and out a little bit. I guess he doesn't like cutting this in the side and coming out 2 rails in between the 5 and 8. Like shooting this in the corner, so that tells me the 3's a little thinner in the side than it appears. Is he drawing this to the back rail and up? Maybe.
Looks like it. Wow, he didn't even bother with it.
Well, he
Using
needs
the
that one
side.
to
He
slow
just-
down a little
oh,
bit.
better.
Needs that one to slow down a little
he's
bit.
Okay. He's okay.
Pretty effortless draw stroke, I'll tell you.
I will say one thing about those carbon fiber shafts, the Revo shaft that he's using. It makes that shot so much easier than your other shafts. It really helps that particular type of shot. Nice control backswing.
I'm looking to tie this match.
Yeah.
Probably just hold it here. May go to the rail and out. We've seen him. Oh, yeah, he'll go to the rail and out with that much angle. Doesn't take much angle for Tyler sometimes to easily want to move the cue ball, and I don't rightly blame him, really, because he does it with ease.
With ease. He's got that long stroke, like you mentioned. And
Yeah.
you've talked about this, about, he's a little taller, so that helps that particular type of swing.
Oh, yeah, well.
And
It's
look
a,
at
it's
this,
a, it's
just
a math
stop,
physics
stop.
thing, right?
Mhm.
Length creates power. So even if you're a shorter person, you don't want to swing with outside your realm, but you definitely want to get to what I call your natural good length. Everyone has it.
And this to tie it back up and stay on break. And this promised to be a good match, and it has been. It has been every bit of that. We've seen a powerful break by Tyler Styer. We've seen a pretty well controlled break by Yoshioka. Masato Yoshioka from Japan. He's a 33-year-old, qualified to play in this tournament. The only qualifier left in the last 16 standing. We had some great qualifiers 1 day before the tournament started. We had Vilmos Foldes, Oscar Dominguez, not Oscar was invited.
Oscar won his own qualifier.
Won his own qualifier.
Josh
Ramon
Roberts.
Farron and Josh Roberts qualify on Sunday to play in this tournament. They were looking pretty strong. So they ran into some buzzsaws. This cue ball's good. Here comes the 5-ball, 4 rails. Ball in the upper corner pocket, too. Not much of a shot on the 1, so more than likely a defensive play to begin things.
Yeah, for sure. And he's close enough to the 1. He's got choices on edging it. He can edge it and should be able to handle just coming behind the 10, I would think. Something like that. I think with the gaps, I don't think I would try to wrap the corner and hit a 3rd rail and die behind the 8. Come out of the corner 2 rails tight. I don't think with all those gaps there, I like just edging it here, I believe. Is he looking at that? He's looking at the 3 rail now that I was talking about coming out of the corner. That's one you shoot when you have these gaps. You'll shoot that type of shot when you have further distance because it's harder to edge the ball so accurate. But when you're close to it here, I really like him edging it and minimizing the movement on the 1.
You call it edging it. I call it feathering it. He's going to be leaving a pretty good jump shot here if he gets there.
I don't think he got there at all. I think he left him straight in. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not.
Oh, he left him a jump shot.
So, but pretty nervy to just play behind that 1 ball there. Did well, though. Tyler Steyer's made some big jump shots in his somewhat short professional career. Some big stages, and we'll see if he can make another.
Well, he's going to have to make this one and still get on the deuce, and it's tough to get on the deuce from there. It looks like the cue ball will go to the side, the head rail, and then possibly underneath the 6 or run into the 6.
Well, just ignore shape and
make
sure you're not going to lose the cue ball in one of the pockets if you do make the 1, and play from there is all.
Well, he's missed it.
And he's going to, we'll see maybe a power shot here by Yoshioka. He's got a big pocket on the 1, so I don't think he'll pass on the power shot, meaning either really putting a lot of force on going forward or elevating the cue and digging down on the bottom of that cue ball.
That used to be a shot. I Didn't Earl used to kind of hit this shot real good years ago in exhibitions?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he'd set it up just off the rail there.
And he'd get down on it, and you couldn't even see his eyes.
Yeah.
All you could see is that cue out to the right side and him delivering it with a lot of power.
I just remember him doing this in exhibitions. He just zinged that ball back like it was like a yo-yo.
Yeah, main thing is here, don't just whack it. Meaning you can play safe from a lot of places. See how he kind of just he just kind of moved a lot on it, just kind of hit it. And to be honest with you, don't get great results with the cue ball that way. But the point behind it is if you make the 1, you can still play safe on the 2. You don't have to gain position. And you're never going to be snookered. You can see there's nothing in the center of the table that's going to get in your way. So Tyler looking at a 1-3 combo, and that laying the cue ball down, the cue down was to try and figure out what the 1's going to do afterwards.
This is a big opportunity for Tyler because he can steal his break.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, cue ball's on the rail, and the 8 has got him in a funny spot. Meaning, real hard to move the cue ball that well, forward at least. Now, he may be able to elevate and just kind of punch one rail. No, I don't know about back. Drawing it,
I mean, between the 8 and the 10.
Yeah, just come one rail down. Yeah, just go down the table. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. And I like that shot, actually. Even if you get behind it and on the rail, the 6 is very accessible as far as the ball after the 2.
Could play the 2-9 combo.
Yeah. The 7-1 there, you would think about that man. He hit that perfect.
He's gone all the way up, and look at this. He'll play it down the corner, same corner.
Really nice shot
Beautiful
there.
shot. Beautifully done. I didn't think he put that much on it. He did.
Well, that's that one as far as, like I was telling you before, George, is hit it a little cleaner, and it's got rotation on it, believe it or not. And once the cue ball has rotation, it has to roll further. Okay. It's not so much he forced it down the table; he just had a mild rotation on the cue ball. Yep.
He hit that beautifully. He's got a nice shot. Come by the 7.
And it's a pretty big pocket usually from this angle.
He's made it. This will go in. Wow, what a big shot! He came with it, and he's earned it. Now he just got to close.
Tyler Styer, the last remaining American here on U.S. soil in Las Vegas, Nevada. Pool fans in general here for the BCAPL and a few other events going on in these many convention rooms, but a lot of American fans too. So they're definitely trying to pull Tyler Styer across this finish line.
Keep in mind it's BCAPL World Championships. We have players from Spain, from around the world. A lot of players from New Zealand,
Canada,
Australia, Canada,
Mexico, probably.
Yeah. There's a couple from Mexico. There's a couple
South America too, I believe.
South America, sure.
Usually.
Well, we had some pros come in from Argentina.
Oh, watch out! This is a big mistake. Why would?
Wow!
Oh my!
Wow! He let that get away from him, and
yeah, he just didn't dig it into the corner, and he just missed his line with the cue ball. And of course, it was overhit. But if you get your line right, you really have the 10's not ever an option of getting behind. So kind of from nowhere. So you got to regroup. He's on a shot clock. He's got to give it his best effort. Needs to call it now. Oh, he's kicking 2 rails across. So
he's called it in the corner.
Okay.
He's going to try to kick 2 rails and cut it in that corner pocket. And he's left a nice shot for Yoshioka. And opportunity to steal one back has pretty much faded.
Oh, he's going forward here. He has an angle to come to the bottom.
I would be coming straight back. In fact, if I'd stop it. If I had to, I'd just come up a little bit and have a nice angle to hit the head rail and come down for the 10.
Okay, changing his mind a bit here, and still has an extension, so plenty of time to work with, but just, the camera doesn't always tell us exactly what there is, and obviously there was a little bit of some kind of angle if he thought about going forward, but I sure like that shot selection.
Oh, nicely done. Came down and fell on that 10 ball beautifully.
And kind of grab the lead again and on an unforced error by Tyler Styer, and get inching closer to that number 10 that is the final result for this qualifier, and will move somebody onto the semifinal. Both players have had a great tournament. Interesting to see. It's one thing Tyler will make a mistake maybe, and then this weapon he's got with the break, if he doesn't let that mistake lead into his break shot, you kind of feel like he can still overcome some mistakes.
Well, he can overcome the mistakes, but he can't get that opportunity back. That'll put him a game up.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. But I'm saying, as far as like,
stay with it,
let's not go too down.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, no. But now he just, he has to do what he can do, and if Yoshioka continues to hold his break,
yeah,
it's gonna be tough.
the math says that Tyler's future life tournament life is in trouble. I mean, just mathematically, yeah, if they hold serve from here.
Mathematically, the pressure comes into play, though, and it's who handles it the best.
Yeah, it's so much of a weapon, though, this break, that, when you're breaking and making 3 and 4, it's hard to get snookered. So that bad roll here after a break it's just something I don't see happening that often with Tyler, as far as I've watched it and I've watched it and I've watched it. Now, he didn't come away with an offensive shot, I don't think. Maybe he did.
He can slide it by the 9.
Okay, so this will be a little bit nervy, considering he's either got to roll it or he's got to dig on the cue ball.
I think he wants to roll it and just slide it by the 9 and take that longer shot on the 3. Cue ball should come off the rail.
Yeah, he would love that.
It's not a bad shot on the 3.
No, but he's elevated. Now, he's only made 2 on the break this time, so a little more work to do out there.
He is elevated, so this is going to come into play.
Thing about this shot is, if you do have it is makeable, you do need to just roll it in. But the thing is, you want to put a little oomph on it. That way the one ball has a little slide down the rail. So you don't want to just dead roll the ball.
No, no, I agree.
And the thing is, he was looking to see about hitting downward on this.
I don't like that. I like
I think he's making the shot much tougher and really harder position. He's just got to say to himself, and you don't necessarily say it, you just know it, that, all right, if I miss this ball, if I shoot it the correct way, I probably lose the game. If I shoot it the wrong way and miss, I probably lose the game. So better off to shoot it with their most results.
Went for safety all the way.
Yeah. Not bad. Not bad at all. Good speed with the cue ball.
It's almost on the rail, just real close to being on the rail. Left him 8 feet away.
He's left him tough here.
Yeah.
This is not easy. There's no guarantees here. I may even entertain a 7-ball carom shot. I would look at it. That's for sure. I'm not in love with any safeties here. I mean, you could roll this ball and maybe knock it between the 4 and the 7, just subtly lay the cue ball behind the 7, but there's not much I like about this at all. Can't get up behind the 5.
Yeah, it's tough to get. He's got to really, really kill this ball to get behind the 5. Yep, that didn't go well at all. From right here, I would say it's advantage Taylor, even though he's not got no offense really. Or can he back cut that ball?
I'd put him underneath the 9. It looks like to me it just lays perfect to
just
shoot the 1 over and just roll over underneath the 9 ball. It's just absolute hanger. He's going to put him behind the 7, which is fine. That's all right. Leave him a little more of a kick this way across the table. But again, they still have to call it, George. That's the one powerful rule about this. The call shot 10 ball.
The 6 ball is blocking no, he's called it there. He's blocking it a little bit, I guess.
He's called something.
He's called the 1 ball in the cross side.
Cross side?
Yeah.
He's
kicking that at the bank.
2 rails.
Yeah.
He's kicking to kick
back.
it again and
Yep.
kick behind it. He's made nothing. The cue ball's going to get up and on the rail, so.
Yeah, he's left a tough shot. You think he
Really
plays him
tough.
safe behind the 310?
No, I think Tyler
He
might
attack.
Man, I'm trying to look at the future of attacking. If you can't come one row into them balls, if he's trying to go by the 6 here, this is awfully dangerous. And I'm not saying it's a bad shot by any means, and you have to. There's an element of danger a lot of times playing this game. But if he can't get into these balls right here, if he's trying to go what would be 1, 2, 3 rails to the left side of the 6 and then in between the 6-5 and back down.
He's played it.
Yeah, but that's the problem there. The 6 is a big ball. And guess what? He can make it. He can make the 3.
Back cutting it?
Oh, yeah. It's one you just got to roll in. You're going to have plenty of speed. I don't like trying to fire this ball because not only that is not the correct speed for the cue ball, but you need a nice clean cut on this. Just nice and smooth, a little accelerating motion. Don't think he needs to spin it, though. I think just level out as much as he can. There you go, nice high ball. Uh-oh, watch out for the scratch or the snooker. Oh, my. Well, he cut it in all right. And he didn't get much of a roll coming down the table. And
he makes a beautiful shot and no reward.
No, one thing, he's not really an underdog here, is he?
No, I'm not in this. He jumps so well.
Yeah, now getting the cue ball up and out is harder because the ball cuts easier, right, when you're jumping because you're in the air with the cue ball, so it catches more of a piece of the ball. So he'll aim fuller here and probably not get shape if he does make it.
Ouch.
I'm not sure if it left him straight in, but it certainly has left him a rail first. Maybe a funny one, though. He's going to try and jam this in, huh?
Can't tell. Looks like it.
I think
like
so.
He's going right at it.
Yeah, I'm just using every bit of the pocket and kind of what looks like get his first 2-game lead and breaking.
That's a big one, especially at this stage in this match.
Well, and as well as Tyler's broke the balls, it's just hard pressed to think anybody could beat him. What looks like is going to be 8 out of 10 now after a 4-0 lead to start the match.
Yep. Such a fine cut on that 3 ball too, not to get a shot.
Oh, pretty nice shot on the 1 off the end rail as well. And the thing is, he knew there was some risk and still got down and buried it. Did the same thing with the 3. 3, he really couldn't manipulate the ball too much. So I think you're asking a lot to put inside English on that and really try and stay away. I think you just had to take
just
your
had
chances.
to make the shot and take exactly. Yeah. Just come up for that. And
wants that to come a little bit. Nice right-handed, and that's the longest stretch, corner to corner.
Let the balls fall where they might. And they didn't fall his way.
Well, now I'm really at the mercy of what might be the next game, even though we've seen some big runs in this match. 2 games is nothing, but the thing is Yoshioka is breaking now in the 15th game and a chance to get on the hill and put himself in a perfect position to advance to our semifinal and what might be the most impressive road yet, coming on a qualifier from all the way around the world.
Right.
It wasn't like he was nearby and he said, let me play in a qualifier and try and get in here. And
so he's proud of his game.
Yes, sir.
Yes, he is. And the reason that he's showing that there's a reason to be proud of his game. Well, the winner here plays Ko Ping Chung, 23-year-old Chinese Taipei player, world junior champion. Big break right here. This break could determine the match.
Well, I'd say he's about 50-50 on how he wants to hit them, meaning he's had a few that he mishit a little bit, but he's definitely had about 50% of his breaks where he's hit them on target with the cue ball, had the one tracking correctly, making the balls he wants to make.
Well, he knows the importance of this break. Let's see if he amps it up.
Oh, watch
Yeah,
it. Cue ball really got kissed around.
Yep.
He's going to get a shot, though, I think, on the one,
Oh,
and it's a long one, but he does have one. And the two's near.
Yeah, it's nearby, and he just makes it, and he's got natural
Ooh, maybe
position.
not. Maybe not.
No, he doesn't. He does not have a shot. Not to make it.
Well, I'll tell you here, you might have to go for the long rail bank here.
I was just about to ask you, how do you like cross banking this to the
I
corner
like
pocket?
it. I mean, don't get me wrong. The prudent play might be just to cross the one over and float the cue ball one rail behind the two and just make sure the one gets past the side. That's the only thing you care about. You could go for this bank and hang it and then give him a big chance. See, now he let the one go a little bit. He let the one. Oh, cue ball's perfect.
Wow, what a shot.
And he didn't take much time to go look at that. A lot of people really go look behind the two ball to just get a better feeling for the speed of the shot.
Well, they don't play much one pocket in Japan, and that's one of the shots that, you know, we look at over here where they'd never even see that. All they see is the safety.
And he's got to bend this ball a bit. And I'm surprised he hasn't entertained the jump cue, but the three's in the way, maybe a hair. And if you're jumping at that distance, you want to have power on the cue ball. The problem is when the two's so close, you got to go up more than out.
And there's no power.
Yeah, exactly.
It's bouncing.
Okay, so
40-second time clock. We're getting near to that 10-second area.
I think he's trying to go at this two rails. Now he has to hit just past the side with this slick tail or else it's going to go long by it. Okay, and he was aware of it.
Got the corner.
Yeah, he had
the point of the side pocket.
He had to threaten that side pocket. And now Mr. Yoshioka, Masato Yoshioka. Man, from 4-0 down, I would have expected, could expect a comeback, that's for sure, and maybe a lead coming down the end, but not what looks like 9-6 now here in a moment.
Well, he's beat him in this. If he goes on to win this game, he's beat him 9-2.
Yeah, 9 out of 11. Yeah.
Since he had that 4-game lead.
Shouldn't be too upset here. He's got every pocket on the table available, and he's really got 4 of them that he can play easy position to that you wouldn't question. Could come one row up for the corner, could come behind it. That's what I like right there.
Once he gets good on that 3 right there, he's going to draw this 2 rails. Or just, I'd like drawing the 2 rails.
Yeah, you want to hit the second rail. You can
rail
handle a little angle. Remember,
Yeah.
if you stay off the rail, you can handle a little angle on the 3 because you can always manipulate the cue ball. That's the beautiful thing about staying off the rail. Now, the 6 to the 9, so the 5 to the 6 is important because the 10's there. So you don't have every angle
so he
offered.
wants to be on the low side of the 6.
Yeah,
on the right side.
or heavy on it. That way, because you can always play the 9 up long.
Okay.
So as long as you're heavy on it,
not gonna be
yeah,
heavy,
it doesn't have, just as long as we're not super thin going the wrong way.
He's in a good place here.
Yeah, he's perfect actually. So this is another one. A lot of people like to use that second rail, but you really need to learn to pull this ball one rail into position, and instead of using the second rail kind of gets you out of line on this one. Now that's a little hard there, and when I say a little, I mean a little more than a little.
And the closer he gets to the rail, the tougher the shot becomes.
Yeah, now he's got to flirt with, he's really put himself in a bad position. And the key to that shot is get the feeling that you're bringing the cue ball back slowly. That's the key, that it's not coming back with any pace. He might have to go into the 9 here.
I was going to say, do you like bumping this time?
Well,
I kind of do, just because it lies. I'd rather go into the 9 than go 2 rails to get on it because of the side pocket.
If you go 2 rails for the 9 in the lower left, you're threatening the side.
That's correct.
You can hit it with 2 rails with inside, back and forth in between the 9-10 for the 9 up long. But that's not easy either. You tend to underhit that a little bit.
Yeah, I like going into the 9 ball here.
He's going to threaten it. He's coming right back where his hand's at, so speed's got to be really nice. Coming 2 rails for the 9. He missed it.
Missed the ball.
Wow.
That's a big break for Tyler. Big break. His man doesn't get to the hill, so he's got to finish it out here.
Well, and I'm really surprised he let the 5 to the 6 get away there, Yoshioka.
The way it laid, too.
Yeah, he was in nice position.
Well, you know, he's got a little adrenaline going through him. He just overamped it a little bit, got too far down on it.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows it. He's shaking his head in the chair. You can see him just shaking his head. He says, that was a great chance.
Okay, Tyler's going to draw this past the side. Doesn't want to flirt with dragging it, I don't think. Oh, he did drag it. Okay. That is the shot I was talking about earlier. If you're comfortable with that shot, man, you can really beat a lot of angles, especially on the TV table, the slick table.
He released his breath once he saw it go in. What a big break for Tyler.
Yeah, and it's going to get to break here at 8-7 to try and
to tie it up.
That's right.
Big break. Took advantage of it. Now he has his weapon, as you called it, working for him.
So a couple big errors in the last couple games. Tyler getting snookered earlier, coming down the table at a huge moment there.
Yeah.
Behind the 10, and then Yoshioka not getting out right there with the 5, 6, 9, and 9 and 10 to get on the hill and be up 8-9 to 6. Whew. What
Just
a
when
moment.
you thought it was safe to go in the water. Up jumps Tyler Styer. Keep an eye on his big break coming up. You guys really should go onto some of these websites and take a look at these guys' products. Kamui Tips, Omega Billiards, Predator Cues. And this is the first WPA sanctioned event in the U.S. in a long, long time. This is about the time I played you in Tucson, isn't it? 1997?
No, I think that was a little bit before that. Probably, I do it by the vehicle zone.
Oh, okay.
So, it was about 95, maybe
Okay.
96, but
Yeah.
a little off on that one. But
Oh, he's still getting some action, though.
yeah,
He's made one. And he's got a tough shot on the one ball.
and he's almost forced to go to a safety here. Just there's a few routes to try and get position if he wants to go cut this one in and come. But there's a lot of traffic around the 9-10. You know, this is the type of shot you feel like you're going to go right around the 9-10 off the third rail. But the thing about it is the speed's got to be perfect. You could overhit and get behind the 8. You mishit the one to the pocket just a little bit. The line of the cue ball is different. So I agree with wanting to be aggressive. It just you gotta make sure of what you're doing, just because you hate to make a great shot and not get any
Rewarded,
shape. Yeah.
I thought he made that ball, but it's come around. Cue ball. It's going to be in a very nice place.
Yeah, he's
98.
gonna get a good roll, and
A very needed roll, leading to a jump shot from Yoshioka.
One ball.
He's called the one ball. Close to the rail. Could leave the table after hitting the one, but it looks like it's far enough off the rail that it'll stay on the table.
yeah, and he's got enough room to
Yeah.
where he should get over this 8 and get the cue ball down and maybe take a chance at making this.
Might come with shape. He hit it
Yeah, he hit it.
barely.
Well, that's amazing, and you can hit him thin without the ball being in the air, but when the ball's in the air, you can be hopping over and just shave the top of that ball. That's really what happened. They didn't hit anywhere close to each other while they were both on the slate. That was definitely why the one was in the air, or excuse me, the cue ball was in the air. Could play the cross corner here. Could play a two-way with all the traffic he's got there, but I like playing a little more definite. See, the thing is, you don't want to get this one by the
You don't
hole.
want it to go. It's going to go.
No, he called it, didn't he? No, he didn't call it. Okay,
he
well, I
didn't
thought
call
he
it.
called it at least. That's why I said the cross corner. You can play the shot if if you want
Sure,
to have a
'cause
nice cue ball. But
yeah. He didn't think to call the shot. He thought he was playing safe all the way. He didn't think about the two-way.
and Mr. Yoshioka may have to elevate a bit here. I don't know if he can level out and roll this in and still hold position. If the 7 wasn't there, it would be he could, but
Oh,
that's.
its cue ball will probably end up on the first diamond by the side pocket. I don't think he
I
can. He
think-
hold it there?
I think he can hold it more than that. It's a little more full than that.
Mhm.
So this bed's pretty fast.
He's close to the rail. See, he's
I like
coming
him
back.
doing this, though.
Okay. Okay.
Another time you'd hate to hit that roll shot just really nice and still just barely get snookered, right? You know,
Well, he
just-
made it.
Yeah,
He
great
made it,
hit.
and he has position. Now he's really in the driver's seat. He just makes this one and comes straight down. He'll have the 5 for the upper left-hand corner.
I don't know. I'd like to maybe kill this and play the 5 on the side if I
Think
can.
he can?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, he did, too.
Yeah, that was
Sure.
tight position over there coming for the 5 in the corner, especially being on the rail with the cue ball.
Yeah, from here, it doesn't seem like I could kill it, but I think once you're there, the way he hit that, it looked very doable.
And even if he came up a little bit too much angle, he just goes around the 7, cuts the 5, and goes around the 7. So I think just a little more guarantee the 5 in the side was a little safer. And
A little safer. You don't chance going by the 6
Yeah.
and getting behind it.
okay, hit this with a little follow and come out probably for the 6 in the corner. Oh, it goes by the 9. Well, that's still kind of interesting because now he's falling away from
For the 7.
Yeah, and he didn't
Sure.
have a whole lot of room. He had to make sure he got clear of the 8. So now he'll wonder, why did I do this when I could have come all the way out for the 6 in the lower left or the
Just
6
stopped
in the
it.
side?
Yeah. And then just stopped it.
Yeah.
He's just going to draw to the rail and come back out.
No, he's going to pinch hold it and take
Yeah.
the cut. Because once the ball starts getting out more in the center, that small little angle, it's very hard to move the ball to the rail and get it to bounce. That's the thing.
Yeah, this takes a good stroke.
Yeah. Okay.
He barely got it out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And he hit it with some speed.
Sure did.
So big shot here. And how's he going to shoot this, George? He practiced.
Soft.
Well,
He's practicing the ball's real soft.
Yeah, he practiced with some soft spin
Or
too.
you just go ahead and shoot it and play the cue ball to where it is now.
Well, that's okay as well if you can hold that. I think it might get away from you. Okay,
He held it.
That's a real sweet stroke
Wow.
there, and
He held it. This will get him on the hill. He's got to clear these 3 balls.
yeah, and he's going to get 2 breaks to win the match.
I have a feeling the nerves are racing, though.
Yeah, but I don't think the
matters.
nerves are going to slow him down for these
Yeah,
3.
Not these 3 shots.
And I'll tell you what, for a guy, this is, from what I can recall, the biggest lead that someone's put on somebody to start a match. And Yoshioka just kind of settled in and said, I can handle it. You know?
Our last match, the biggest lead to start it, 4-0, and then he came back and won basically once he wins this game.
Yeah, 9 out of 12.
9 out of 12 games.
75% of the games since
Wow.
that 4-0 lead.
This has been impressive. He's played very well, especially for, you would think a qualifier in this field would be the underdog. And especially with the way Tyler's been breaking.
Well, yeah, it's just the break really hasn't hurt him. We've seen that. We saw that's how he got part of that lead, was breaking the balls. And he continued to break the balls well. He didn't continue to get maybe straight-in shots, but he had a couple cross-side banks. Had a safety there he missed. Just a couple little things. He had a long, tough 1 ball there that game that wasn't. I mean, it was a miss, but it wasn't one you'll really put against him too much. When he cut it to the upper left, he ran the cue ball around and got Yoshioka a little bit safe, and Yoshioka jumped at the 1. But he wasn't without a little bit of opportunity for Tyler, so that's going to sting if he goes on to lose this match. But but you can't let it sting now. Now you got to still just wait for your opportunity, which. That's one thing Tyler's very good at, is he just keeps his mind in the match, and it may not matter now after watching this break and a la Tyler Styer making 3 on the break and pretty much has a shot on every ball on the table besides the 3.
He's got to get this ball back, though.
Yeah.
for the 3.
Doesn't mind drawing his ball, though.
Well, you know, as we sit here and watch him run these balls, I'm looking at the opponents he defeated. Dennis Grab, 10-6. Carlo Beato, Jeffrey Ignacio. He's undefeated.
Yeah.
He hasn't lost a match yet.
Who did he beat this morning? Grabe? Dennis Grabe? Yeah.
Dennis Grab. Grabe.
Yeah, from Estonia, a great player from Estonia, and who put out, I believe, if I remember correctly, Alvin Ocean yesterday in the final round of to get to the final 16. No reason to end up short here. Ended up long on a similar shot a couple racks ago. Almost eerily similar, if you remember. The 6 is where the 4 was, the 10's there, and the 9's, the 6 is where the 9 was. And now he's gone to the other extreme. And the thing is, if you try to, I might hit this with high. He's going to catch the 10. I believe he thinks he can put enough steam without catching the 10.
And come over.
Oh, he got it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
No, he's okay. In fact, he's perfect.
Yes, sir.
Wow, what a shot.
Should just probably stun out for the corner. No reason to pinch back for the side, and that's where I'd rethink this.
As you said, shots like this, shots like that one just win tournaments.
Yeah, and this is going to be a good decision. At first, he was going to pinch it back for the side, but then, man, it involves a little bit of a cut, and he's still doing it. Okay. I don't know why. I would stun out for the corner, I
like
believe.
It. He looks good there.
Yeah, well, he's good. He's good. Stayed in control with it.
Well, Tyler, you know, had a good record going in here too. He beat some monsters.
Yeah, well, this one, some great play by Yoshioka to come back, but I know how the great players think, and Tyler's going to think the same, that he probably let this one get away a little bit, you know.
Well, I think it was a combination of both. A couple of
Oh,
errors
of course,
by Tyler
yeah.
and some great play by Yoshioka.
Absolutely.
What a great match. What a great match. Tyler Styer has plenty to be proud of.
Absolutely, yeah.
Can't come back in this tournament, but he'll be others. And Yoshioka goes on to meet Koping Chung tomorrow at, I'm not sure what time he's going to play him.
Probably the 3:30 because they're the lower bracket.
The other one,
it'll be Ko in both semifinals.
Yep. Koping Ying and Josh Filler at noon. See you tomorrow.